My name is Jeffery Kearney. I am originally from Arkansas. I'm 35 years old. However, now I live in the beautiful Marshall Heights neighborhood of Southeast Washington, D.C. My mom has been sick, I reckon, all of my life, but all of her life as well. She was born with a brain tumor that has affected her to some degree since her inception. Mom has survived cancerous tumors in her brain, her breast, her heart, as well as her uterus, as well as dealing with other ailments such as lupus, bipolar disorder. Oftentimes you're just trying to handle one catastrophe and hoping that you can avoid whatever the next catastrophe is. My mom's illnesses impacted my life. I always knew that I had to play a role to ensure that my brother was taken care of. Make sure that he got to baseball games, make sure he got to football games. He came and lived with me for 3 years during his high school time from 10th grade until he graduated, so that my parents could try to concentrate on my mother's health, try to concentrate on healing. My dad handled my mom's illness very stoically. He's not a man of overt emotions. It's very difficult for my dad to communicate, especially when you're at the mercy of navigating the system without insurance. And let me tell you, in Pine Bluff, Arkansas in particular, it's a very difficult thing to do. It's chaos when you have to utilize the emergency room as your primary care provider. You just end up having so much inconsistency in your care regimen that it doesn't lend toward being as healthy as it should. I think he quickly recognized that in some of the smaller, overworked, understaffed hospitals that we've had to deal with, they can only care so much. My role is as an advocate, the hands-on, personal, one-on-one conversations with doctors, with medical personnel that are part of the intake process, navigating subsequent scheduling of appointments. I know that my dad could do some of that stuff, but it helps to have him be able to be there for my mom emotionally in a way that I simply can't be. My mom has had various times where it's been difficult for her to control her emotions, especially when you're dying. There's a lot to navigate as a caregiver, and I think for many people, many men in the South, it feels too close to being a nurse. As much as my dad has been a very diligent caregiver and he's been up to the tasks for as long as I've been alive, I reckon that he probably doesn't even consider himself a caregiver though. And I don't know if that's cultural, but I think that my dad kept himself sane by being extraordinarily stoic and introverted. The worst of news, he would not allow himself to display the trauma that I'm sure he was enduring. I think there were many years where my dad probably felt like he wasn't in a position to be emotional. Circumstances being somewhat better now make it so that he can feel comfortable expressing a lot of the things that he's gone through. I feel like he can feel more alive and content in the moment as well.